Hey everybody, my name is Scott, and today I'm going to give you the 5 things that you need to start a successful business. So before I start, I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself. I started a landscaping business 3 years ago. Um, it was right after COVID hit, actually, that I got my first client. But before that, I was looking for a job in the industry that I went to school for, and I couldn't find anything. Nobody was hiring me. I couldn't even get an interview. And I was working in landscaping in the meantime for another company, mostly just cutting grass, shoveling snow, that kind of stuff. And I told myself that if I didn't get this specific job that I had applied for, that I would do something else with my life because, I was kind of sick of my job and I wanted to do something bigger. So I didn't know what that was yet, but I didn't get the job. And that's when I just decided to start my landscaping business. Now, at the start, I wanted to do lawn care, kind of the same stuff I was already doing. I just realized, that the bosses were making more money than I was and waking up whenever they wanted. So that's what I wanted to do. And I started the business, and it's changed a lot from when I started, but we'll get into that later. So let's get into this list here. So the first thing you're going to need is books, and this one, it doesn't have to be a book, but basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to constantly be learning. Now, I learned a lot from YouTube, online courses. You know, I even learned a little bit in school. But the point is, you're going to want to be constantly learning. Read some business books. A great one, if you want to get started, it's a book about money. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. One of my favorite books. Taught me so much about paying your debts, investing, saving, paying yourself first. So many great lessons in that book. So get that Richest Man in Babylon. Little secret tip from Scott here. But yeah, you're going to want to constantly be reading, looking on YouTube, learning whatever you need for your business. And this is something you're going to want to do before you start your business, as you're starting your business, all the way until you die, honestly. Even if you don't have a business, you want to constantly be learning just to keep your brain healthy. So that's the most important thing. Anybody who's successful, look at them. I'm sure they're reading books. They're probably exercising too. It's really important. But yeah, read some books. Okay, number two, you need a product or a service. So obviously you need a product or service that you could sell. Without these, you can't make any money. And when it comes down to it, a business is about turning a profit. So you need a product or a service, and it needs to be something you can deliver on. I can't try to sell cars if I don't have any cars to sell. I can't try to sell houses if I don't know how to build a house. I think you get it. Basically, it has to be something that you know how to do and you have the resources to do. Um, so you could start a business, find a product that you can deliver on, start your business. And, the product you're selling, it's going to change. When I started my business, I thought I was going to do lawn care. I did very, very little lawn care before I kind of did a 180 and changed my business completely. And now lawn care is not even a service that we provide anymore. But that's how I started the business. So just start, do something, have a product or a service that you can deliver on and start selling it. Okay, so now you have a product or service. You're going to need a website or marketing so that you can reach a broader audience. Of course, when you start off, you might sell to your family, your friends, people in your network. But the moment I felt that I had a real business was when I got a call from a stranger asking for my services. That's when I knew, oh, this is real. I have a business. I'm not just selling to my family and friends. And for that, um, the first thing I would recommend is having a website. Website's really important. Uh, there's so many other methods of marketing that you can use that are all great. But when it comes down to it, you're going to want a website to send these people to. So if you're handing out flyers, you're going to want your website on the flyer. If you're going door to door, knocking on doors, and somebody's interested, but they're not quite ready to buy, you're going to want to give them your website so they can go and they can look at your portfolio, look at your work, look at whatever else you have on your website, your blog, your pictures. And then they can learn more about you, decide if they want your service, find your contact information, email you, call you, send your information to their friends. They can do so much from a website. So that's honestly the most important thing that I think when you're getting started with marketing, you should have a website. Um, you can do some of these other guerrilla marketing tactics, such as door knocking, handing out flyers, signs, um, t-shirts with your logo on it. All these things are great, but the website I think is the most important. And when you have a website, it is going to cost you a little bit. You might be spending about $30 a month to run it, but you're going to want to keep it updated, keep it clean, uh, and most importantly, you're going to want to post content pretty regularly, content that's relevant to your clients, obviously. Um, and so, for example, when I started my business, I was doing lawn care, and I found that everything about lawn care that there is to say, it's been said. It's already out there. It's on every landscaping website in the world, and I couldn't get myself to write the same things over and over and over and over again on my website. It just felt so redundant, and I couldn't get myself to make any content. Um, but then when I kind of made this 180 that I mentioned before, and I kind of decided, well, I was doing some research on how to make my product better, and I decided that uh, I didn't want to do lawn care anymore. It didn't seem productive in terms of the environmental impact. You're driving around town, cutting the same lawns every week. Lawns get watered. You're running the mower, the trimmer, the blower, all on fossil fuels, and the grass barely stores any carbon dioxide in the soil because of its shallow roots. And it's a monoculture. It doesn't sustain wildlife. There's just so many flaws with a green lawn, and I get that people want it. There's a time and place for that, I guess, but it wasn't what I wanted to do with my business. So I made the change towards native plants and sustainable landscaping and storing carbon in the soil using native plants and reducing my clients' carbon footprint. And once I made this switch, all of a sudden I had so much content that I was passionate about, that I could research, that I could write extensive blog posts about. And that's what really kickstarted my business and got people visiting my website. It's all about writing content that you're passionate about and posting content regularly. And if you can do that, I promise you, you will get calls. Whether or not those transfer into sales is going to depend on how relevant your information is to the actual product and service that you're providing. Um, but just keep posting the content, and some content is going to miss and some will hit. So just keep pumping it out there, keep putting out the content. I mean, that's why I'm making this video right now. It's content to get eyes on me, eyes on my business, eyes on things that I'm working on. So yeah, that's the third point. Get a website and do some marketing. Obviously, not everybody has a website. There's going to be exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, if you want this business to be successful and you want it to last long term, your competition has a website. And if you don't, you can't compete. So get a website. The fourth item on my list is tools for quotes. Um, Now, once you start getting calls from your website or whatever marketing tactics you're using, people are going to be asking how much does your product cost, and you're going to need to give them quotes. Now, if you're just selling a physical product, that might just be the price of the product plus profit margin for you plus shipping. And you could probably do that with basically no tools, maybe a computer or a phone or something to do your research. But for me, and for a lot of other service businesses, you're going to need tools to measure your clients' yard, house, whatever it is. So for me, the first tool I ever bought was one of these babies, a yard wheel. And basically, what you do with this is you roll it along the lawn, and there's a little dial here that shows you how many feet you've gone forwards, and you can just reset it with this button, or there's another button here. But basically, this is what I use to measure people's lawns for all my garden design quotes. And just, for example, if someone wants a cedar hedge, you measure their fence line and divide the feet by 3, and that's how many trees you're going to need. So you need tools like this to measure things to be able to give your clients quotes. And this was the first tool I ever bought in my business, and I would say the most important tool that I have, because if you can't give the clients quotes, you can't sell the jobs, and you can't make any money. So you might be thinking, but Scott, what about the tools to actually do the jobs? Now, I would say, with this tool, this was an investment that I had to make out of my own pocket. Nobody's really going to pay me to come to their house and measure their lawn. But when it comes to tools for actually doing the work, your shovels, your mowers, your wheelbarrows, whatever it is you need, um, don't buy these ahead of time. If you already have the tools, great. But if you don't buy them expecting to get a job. Wait until you have the job, build the tools into the price of the job, and then get a deposit from the client, which is going to cover your tools, your materials, your plants, soil, whatever else you need for the job. You don't want to be putting yourself out any money when you do these jobs, because sometimes you can't trust the clients to pay, at least not in a timely manner. You're going to want to get them to sign contracts to make sure that they do pay. But sometimes it's tricky to actually get money out of people. So get a deposit and cover all your costs ahead of time. That way, you're not losing money. We don't like losing money in business. So buy tools out of your own pocket to do the quotes, but that's it. Make the clients pay for the rest of it. Okay, so that's it on tools. Let's go to the fifth and final point, and that is a mission. You need a mission for your business. When I started, I didn't really have a mission. My mission was to quit my job, wake up when I want, make some money. Um, those were important to me at the time, but it doesn't give me a deeper purpose or meaning in life. And that's what I really needed to find before I was able to really grow my business and make it into something that I'm proud of. So, like, my mission now is to reduce people's carbon footprints with the power of native plants. And that's something that's, like I said earlier, it allowed me to create so much content, to be able to attract the clients that I wanted, and not just lawn care clients, but clients who cared about the environment and had similar uh, thought patterns to me about what we should be doing with our land. And, it just made every job so much more meaningful to me. And that's really something you need if you want this to be a long-term business, you need to wake up and be excited about what you're doing. Um, and yeah, so that's the five things that you need to have a successful business. We'll just go over them real quickly one more time. So first thing you need is books and learning. Always be learning. Two, you need a product or service that you can deliver on. Three, you need a website and you need a marketing plan. Four, you need tools to be able to give your clients quotes. And five, you need a mission that's going to give you a deeper purpose and have you waking up every morning excited to work on your business harder than last time. All right, so that's all my tips I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, helps me get eyes on me and my business. Um, if you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments below. My channel is really small right now, so I'll be able to answer pretty much all of them. And if you have any recommendations on videos or um, how to run my business better, check out my website, give me some constructive criticism. I don't care. Whatever you want to say, just say hi, but leave some comments down below. And thanks again so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day. All right, cheers.